For us, it is an art. When we put out, a shoe, I think we really do look at it the same way, a singer might put out a song. Every single detail, from the lace tips to the color of the sole to the color of the lining to the, is all very important to us. The problem that we saw was we wanted a very well-crafted shoe at a reasonable price. So we always go back and forth, but we try to do as much direct consumer business as possible. So we thought by building the glass shoebox and inviting people to come up and experience the brand on this level would be a good experience for them, and it would get them more excited about shoemaking and what goes into actually making a pair of shoes that they wear on their feet. It's all about craftsmanship. Usually shoemaking gets passed down from one generation to another. That's how you really learn how to make shoes. So everyone in this factory has been making shoes for over 30 years. First of all, we come up with our design. Usually I come up with some kind of shoe hallucination, we call it. Put paper on a last, which is the mold that is unique to every shoe's shape. We'll look at our inspiration, we'll speak about what's coming out of our mind regarding that style, and then we'll sketch on the last. And then we take it over to our pattern maker. We actually, we make the pattern, we do a pullover, we make sure all the lines look perfect, and then we cut it, we stitch it, it gets prepped, goes to our finishing line, and then it gets lasted, and then works its way down and gets finished. Put it in the box and ship it. It's pretty cool, to see what people can still do in this country and do right here in the middle of New York City. We're blocks away from Times Square, so it just opens up people's minds, I think, to the possibilities that are out there. People just write it off like, hey, everything has to be done overseas, but that's not true. If you put your mind to it, you can make things happen here. Working with the shoemakers all day long, being able to innovate, because we're sitting here in the factory, constantly, perfect the art of shoemaking and really paying attention to all these crazy details, speed to the marketplace. I mean, those are all things that we find very powerful, and I think so do our fans and customers. If you're a young entrepreneur and you're looking to start a business, one piece of advice I would be willing to give you is be ready to die for the cause, man. It costs a lot of money out there these days to do things, but if your heart and your soul is into it and you're ready to do anything and everything 24/7 to make it happen, then go out and try. You can't be afraid to stamp your name on something and fail, but if you have that mentality, you probably can pick yourself back up and make it happen if you really want to. People just write it off like, hey, everything has to be done overseas, but that's not true. If you put your mind to it, you can make things happen here. Working with the shoemakers all day long, being able to innovate, because we're sitting here in the factory, constantly, perfect the art of shoemaking.